Okay, this is not going to be an easy video to make. I've had a lot of retro gaming rooms over the years, probably since about 2010, 2011, over 1, 2, 3, 4 different houses. So 4 different rooms, I think. Does that sound right? Pretty sure this is the 4th one. Unfortunately, this is going to be the final one. The last retro game on Retro Gaming Room. Hey there, retro gamers, how you doing? Welcome to another vlog. I'll just cut straight to the chase because I'm getting dizzy. I'm spinning around in circles. See. Anyway, last night I spent a lot of time watching videos of tours of other people's games rooms to see if I can get some ideas. And I thought, well, apparently I make blogs now, so like, why in the hell do I make one? So yeah, that's what this vlog's all about. I don't want to lose your attention, so stay. So I guess now what I'll do is I'll just give you a general layout of the room while trying not to cover up the mic with my fingers. So basically we've got the TV set up there with the consoles and the sound system, and then we've got the games over there, and then we've got a couch and another couch and another couch and a window and some other stuff. I guess I'll get to all that. I guess this bit's kind of pointless, but let's get to the consoles.
So moving all the consoles across and plugging all those in went well, and I'll discuss that in a second. However, I do need another shelf. This is probably about half of my collection. Maybe not quite half, maybe a little bit less, but I have all my PS2 games and all my PC games still at the other house. And obviously, especially the PS2 games, there's nowhere I'm going to be able to squeeze those in. And quite frankly, I don't like how everything's sort of stacked on top of each other here to make it all fit, except for maybe the PS1 games. So yeah, that's kind of lame.
Come on in. So if we pan around, we'll see there's a couple of different components. So we've got obviously the TVs, consoles, the crap pile, some games there, as well as another shelf of games there as well. And I'll just take you through these one by one. Hello, and welcome to part 2 of me moving the retro games room, version 4. Is it 4 up to? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 or 4. Anyway, this will be the new retro gaming room. So if you haven't seen part 1 yet, please watch that. I will link that below, or in a card, or whatever is available when this is on YouTube in 10 years time. And in the last video you saw me clear out the old room in preparation for moving. In that video I said I was going to move in 1 week, but then the city I live in, Perth, Western Australia, went into a lockdown because of the coronavirus, which hasn't happened in 10 months. But luckily there was no community transmission, so we are essentially out of our lockdown now. We just have to wear masks outside. But we finally got the keys for the new house today, and this echoey room will be the brand new retro gaming room. So I was planning on doing a final tour. The reality of that is the tour I did this time last year, which I'm pretty sure was just before Christmas as well, it hasn't really changed much at all. Unfortunately, this channel hasn't been very active this year at all, and there's a couple of different reasons for that, but I need to talk about why this room is getting packed up. So, you guys are no dum-dums. You probably know that there is a housing crisis in just about everywhere in the world, really, especially in Perth. Apparently where I live in Western Australia, supposedly has some of the worst tenant rates, like vacancy rates is what I meant to say, in the whole of Australia. It's actually going up. I think it's over 1% now, but we got as low as like 0.4% or 0.5%. I don't know. I can't remember the numbers off the top of my head, but outrageously low. There's a lot of people who are becoming homeless, who are working full time. It's a really crap situation. And I am a tenant. I rent. This is not my house. Fortunately, financially, even though I'm getting stung hardcore on the rent that just keeps going up, we can afford it. You know, we're double income, no kids, but it's not ideal. We would love to buy our own house, and
that the costs of housings are just going through the roof as well. So that's a whole different rant. It's not really the channel to talk about that sort of thing. But regardless, my lease here is about to run out. We've been here for 4 years, and we have decided not to renew for another year because we've been given an opportunity to basically live in someone else's house, that being my parents' house, as they go traveling around Australia. They've both retired. So basically we've been given the opportunity to house sit, and the idea is my mum, hi mum, if you're watching, the idea is that me and my partner can save more money for a deposit and hopefully buy our own house. Maybe there'll be a retro gaming room there. Unsure. A little bit of an unknown. What I can tell you is that there won't be one at the house that we're about to move to. So this is all getting packed up. It's all going to storage, but it doesn't mean videos are going to stop. Like I said, the videos have been, the release schedule's been pretty average, I will admit that, but I'm trying to set things up in a way that I can still make videos, at least on a limited basis, because this room is fully kitted out. It's fantastic for making videos in, even just as like a stage, like a set, you know. So when I made a video about the retro gaming room last Christmas season, I talked about the TV. I got rid of the CRT. It was broken. They're heavy. Obviously, a lot of people, you know, they have their opinions about that, but I honestly haven't looked back. So the idea is using devices like the OSSC and the RetroTink. I can just plug it into a modern TV and everything is fine and dandy. So basically I'm going to pack things up in a way that I can easily just grab a console, plug it in, everything's going to be packed together with the cables, the power and video cables, so it's all just there. You can grab it, plug it in 30 seconds and I'm good to go. So that's sort of the idea. Whether that actually happens in practice, I guess we'll see, but yeah, that's that. That's the reasoning for this whole video. And it is getting really hot in here, really spicy. It's currently 34 degrees. I'll put whatever that is in Fahrenheit up on the screen, because I don't know. It's going to get up to 40 degrees today, supposedly. We're in a heat wave at the moment, just before Christmas. Funnily enough, it's only going to be like 24 or 23 degrees on Christmas Day, but as of a few days before Christmas, it's getting spicy as. So I'm going to wheel the aircon in here and start getting packed up. Funny, I talked about that in my previous video, how I bought the aircon so I could have an aircon for both my office and in this room, and configured things in a way so the aircon can sit up right there next to the window. Use it in my office all the time. Had it on just about all day yesterday. It was also filthy hot. I don't think I've ever used it in here. Not once. So, but today's the day because I'm getting sweaty and I got a lot of work to do. So this sucks. I'm not really happy about it. It's not ideal, but it's gotta happen. So enough of me talking. Let's just get it done. Okay, the only disadvantage of this is that it's really quite loud. So, won't be able to talk much while it's actually turned on. It's gonna make a lot of difference.
Watch what happens. Watch what happens.
And then you send.
Okay, Linus, shush for a second.
That you're manually flagged as safe.
Yeah, that's
Okay. So yeah, I guess that box wasn't in frame at all. I was about to say I've just, let me just get behind the camera. I have packed the very first box. So I'll just show you that. There we go. I was hoping for I mean, it's a pretty big box. I was like, maybe all the Xbox, GameCube, and PS2 all fit into the same box. Obviously, I had high hopes for that. But it's perfectly designed. You just 6 DVD cases all fit in there perfectly. So, yeah, it's a start. I'm not going to film every single bit, so let's just, like I said before, let's just get it done. Okay, so I've sort of got this wonderful idea for storage floating around in my head. And instead of just writing on the box what's in it, like here it said front room from a previous move, I'm going to say 100. And then on other sides of the box, I'm also going to draw 100. So the plan is I'm going to have this spreadsheet that both me and my partner have access to. Each room is going to be numbered in the hundreds. So retro gaming room's 100 because that's where I'm starting. Bedroom 200, office 300, etc., etc. Because all our stuff potentially might be getting stored all over the place. So the primary point of storage is my parents' garage. It's a 2-car garage and they're going to be away, and I've only got 1 car. Well, I've actually got 2 cars at the moment, trying to sell one. If anyone needs a Kia Sorento 2013. And the idea is we can check the spreadsheet, check the number, it'll say what's in the box, and it'll also say where it's stored as well. So I haven't actually made that document yet, but today I'm just going to just manually write down what's in these boxes and then add it into the spreadsheet later. So believe it or not, I've run out of boxes. I thought I had more than 3. I think maybe there were some other boxes and they've been used for other things. So I think it's time for me to do a Bunnings run. So we are going to get more of these boxes. I'm also going to get some plastic containers. These are what going to hold all the consoles, bubble wrap together with the cables and the controller and stuff, just for easy access. I'll probably chuck the OSSC and the Retro Tink in there as well. And yeah, maybe a few other bits and bobs. Like I'll need to get one of those tape dispenser things. Run out of tape, so yeah, I think it actually is like probably close to 40 degrees out there now. It's sort of just 10 past 12. If it's not yet, it will be soon. So yeah, not really looking forward to going out there into the real world, but it's Australia. What can you do? Recently bought a new car, and easily the coolest feature, none of this lane assist, none of this reverse cam, mirrors that fold in and out. How cool is that? Anyway, we're down in Bunnings, as we can see there, all the stuff in the back. I nearly accidentally bought the bubble wrap that costs twice as much as the one that I usually need and buy, but it's okay, got that sorted. So yeah, I can head back to the house and continue packing. Okay, I'm back. Boxes, packing tape, other stuff. Man, it was kind of uncomfortable in that Bunnings. Obviously it's a big place. It's a pretty difficult place to keep cool. The poor girl at the counter was sucking on an icy pole. So, speaking of aircon, I'm gonna drown myself out now with an aircon, cool down, shut up, and hopefully get the rest of these games packed away. Okay, so this is where we're at. These shelves are mostly emptied. They've been started on that cabinet there. Basically the last of the games are the PC games. So, gonna get all those nicely boxed up. And then we'll get onto the consoles. Wow. Hopefully the aircon isn't blowing into the microphone, but this is the first time I've ever really hauled anything with this car. I've only had it a couple of weeks. That's everything I packed today, all going across at once. I'm like literally graduating from a Kia Sorado. Probably the biggest small car ever. A huge car with no room in it whatsoever. I don't even know how it's possible, but it is. So yeah, consider me impressed. Okay, just a real quick update with my phone. It is now day 2. It's already over 40 degrees here. Again, starting to cool down tomorrow on Christmas Eve. But I thought I'd just give a quick update of sort of how I'm going. So apart from some odds and ends, these shelves are completely empty. And I've even started on the computer desk there as well. So basically the next major step will be to start pulling all these out, wrapping the cables up together and just putting them into those containers there. So they're all sorted together. And I think I need to get another box. There is just some odds and ends to go into a cardboard box, like my calculators and whatever else. So, ugh. So here we are. We're now full of empty, bare shelves. Apart from some packing stuff and some other odds and ends, but for the most part, all the shelves are empty. Kind of eerie, really. Okay, day 3, but not the day after. It is now past Christmas, but before New Year's, in that sort of weird part of the year. So that's why I think I'm wearing the exact same shirt I was wearing during the first day. So anyway, we're back home now. I went away for Christmas. For a bit. This here is it's going to the tip, which is kind of sad because I bought this way back when I lived at my parents' house. And I guess I'm going full circle, although they live in a different house now. But there's going to be no room for it, and honestly, it's just too old. So when I do get things set up again, I'll buy something newer and nicer. The other shelves and that desk, which I'll show you in separate shots, those are staying, but they're going to be disassembled so they can easily be stored. And then once I have my own place again, they can be rebuilt. So yeah, this was a little bit of a hack job. I put in my own LED lighting. I guess I'll show it to you real quick since it's the last time it'll ever be turned on. There we go. I hand wired the LED strips in this and then sort of like glued them to the surface and did all the wiring and everything myself, all the soldering, everything. Because this was, I don't know how long ago this was, maybe 8 years ago, maybe? I'll put the year up in the description as if it matters, but obviously it's pretty old. They're pretty old LED strips, so they're not very energy efficient. The power brick I use is quite large. 12 volts, 3 amps. Not too bad, I guess, but there's much better solutions you can get in the modern day, but I thought it was pretty cool for the time. I just completely screwed that up trying to show you the strip. There we go. Just as well, got some some solder connectors there just dangling in the wind, so probably just for the best that this is all getting pulled apart, but yeah, that's what that looks like. Unplug that before I zap myself. So yeah, let's get it disassembled. Okay, so this is going pretty horribly. Not quite as easy to pull apart and then put back together again, it seems. So, as you can see here, the bits where it's screw in have completely blown out once they get removed, which are these here. So that screws in and screws into the wood, but you can't properly unscrew it once it's screwed in for some reason. Like, it just doesn't really come out the right way. It's only supposed to just penetrate it. So now I think this shelf is a goner, and now I have to think about what I'm going to do with this shelf, because basically the rule is if I can't transport it in my Forester, then it's not coming with me. So I don't know, I guess we'll see. I haven't had too much of a look at this one yet, but it appears they just have normal screw holes, and then the shelves just, you know, lift up like the other one did. So this one should be able to be disassembled. It doesn't have that weird penetrating screw thing that's like a one and done sort of situation. Those two bits of furniture are metal, so that should be fine too, just metal screws against metal shelves. And this was such a pain to put together, it's not coming apart, but that should be pretty easy to transport and store, thankfully. Okay, so the second shelf came apart perfectly. It was really to do with the way I was pulling it apart. I sort of put it down sideways, and when it started to come apart, the whole thing just sort of parallelogrammed. Obviously, the second time I put it down flat, which makes a lot more sense in hindsight, and nothing broke. But I was obviously a bit upset about breaking out the shelf. Spoke to my partner about it. And she's like, why don't you just sand it down, putty it down, and putty it, you know, sand it, and then just re-screw it? And I'm like, well, it's worth a go, isn't it? And it won't be a problem for me for, you know, months and months and months. So may as well put it into storage, because it just seems like such a waste to take it down to the tip. So as like a contrast to those 40-degree days I was having, you know, before Christmas, during Christmas it was really quite mild, like sort of low 20s most days. Today, not so much, not in the 40s, but it's so humid, so there's not even really much point putting the aircon on. Doesn't really do much in the humidity, so kind of just sucking it up, but yeah, we're nearly there. So last task for tonight will be to take down that other shelf, and I'll try not to break this one as well. Okay, day 4. Yesterday I took all the shelves over to my parents' house. So today we just need to disassemble that, disassemble that, take all the shelves out of that and basically wrap that up and cushion it so I can transport it. And yeah, take those over as well. Those things in the cupboard are for sale, so they can stay there for the time being. But yeah, we're nearly there. I think we'll finish this room today. Well, here it is. Final car load. This is it. Here we go, the start. This is all of the retro games room. Packed away in a shed. For probably at least 6 months. Here we are, the end. It's echoey in here without, I don't know, 15 years worth of video games. They all live in a garage now. Hopefully, only temporarily, but not really sure what's in store for the retro gaming world. Sorry, not the retro gaming world. Well, that too. My retro gaming room, I'm not sure what's in store for that in the next couple of years, the foreseeable future. How about the channel though? Well, obviously my upload rate has decreased quite a bit over the last 12 months. I think 2024 compared to 2023, I haven't looked at it, but I'll probably do a count and put it on screen now. I'm sure there are quite a few less videos. And there's a couple of reasons for that. Probably the main one, you're not probably going to like the answer to, but it's not as bad as it sounds. Basically, changing interests. Video game noises in the background. My interests haven't totally changed, but they've certainly diminished. So I was quite young when I started this. I think I bought my Dreamcast when I was 18, and combined with my existing PlayStation 1 collection, that's sort of where it all began, and leading up to today, where I'm now sort of, in my early 30s, I still love retro gaming, and I'm still going to release videos. Definitely not over the next couple of months while we go through the transition, the move, but I've sort of set things up that when we're in the new house, I can easily grab things when I feel the urge to make a video. And that's what's happened over this year. Because the year before, I was still trying to release a video a week, and basically, and got a swear word coming up, so cup your young ones' ears if they're there. This channel is algorithmically fucked. So, and that's my fault. Quality of videos, audience interests, etc., etc. Basically, YouTube really pushes the videos where I'm doing like a tutorial. So like where I'm modding a PS3 or modding a PSP, like those videos are in the tens of thousands, sometimes even hundreds of thousands of views. They're the videos that most people who are searching find of me when they look for things, so they subscribe. But then I don't really release videos like that. I was just releasing that video because I was doing it myself and thought I may as well make a video. What I really want this channel to be more about is, unreleased games, weird games, rare games, documentaries about odd consoles and accessories like the Wonders of the Retro Gaming World or Unreleased and Unobtainable, those sort of series. And sometimes those videos do pretty well, but the click rate when I release, it's not very high. And then YouTube sees that and they don't serve the video to anyone. So I do appreciate the people who do watch my videos when I do release them. There's between 200 and 300 of you, and I'm very appreciative that you do that. But having said that, some of you may know that I do have another channel, and coincidentally, that really took off about 12 months ago. So it's got absolutely nothing to do with retro gaming. It's about local history and local weird things in my home city of Perth, Western Australia, and it's gotten really big, like big enough that I get recognised in the street pretty often. I've been recognised maybe 4 times in the last 2 weeks when I'm just out and about. So, and it's, you know, the revenue it's making is a completely different story as well. But obviously I work full time. I don't do these channels full time. I do it for fun. But having that sort of income coming in, it's all going back into that channel and it's helping it a lot. It's helping it grow even more. So currently the channel is called Brendan's Odyssey, if anyone's interested. That's going big. So it's a mix of interests being less than they were, not completely zero, the interest is still there, and also that channel just going whoop, and also it gets me out of the house. I'm out there touching grass, so yeah, those are the reasons. And we're moving house, there was no room for the retro gaming room. I wouldn't have taken it down if I still had the room. It would have just stayed up. But yeah, that's it. My neighbour's looking at me through the window. Not really, but I think she might start in a second. So I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you so much for the last however many years I've been making videos. I think 2013. Retro Game On goes back to 2011. Love you all. See you on the other side.